That's right, Speedroids want to have a word with you for the new format. Don't make 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Logan Jaya here has a monthly free tournament called the GG4Free event, and their 26-man event just wrapped up yesterday, and I got the chance to take a look at Top Cut, and what you're seeing here is actually your entire Top Cut representation. Speedroid's got top 8. I don't even know how you're going to feel about that, because that was one of the things that caught my attention here with this. I was like, whoa, double mana DM out here, actually working out for a majority of the format. You know, everything about this breakdown is pretty impressive. Super Heavy Samurai only had one Top Cut slot, but it ended up winning the event. I mean, Yokimon is an absolute monster. They've come through and they've participated in our tournaments and have actually crushed a lot of competition for that. So I found that actually pretty cool. We had double mana DM here, and we'll go through and we'll showcase some of those lists here. Actually, we'll showcase everything for the Top Cut of this event, because the players and Logan was nice enough to pass on over the info for that, so that was very nice. We also had Teller Knights locking down a top 4 spot as well. Yeah, Teller Knights. I didn't think that we would see that anytime soon, but that's pretty good. Labyrinth brings it in 5th place along with Dragon Link, 2 major old contenders in the rogue category. We're really pretty used to seeing those. We also had Speedroids, got to rev it on up for, you know, the other amazing deck. And then, of course, we have, is that Despia down here in 8th place? Despia barely squeaked into the Top Cut of this event, which is actually kind of funny looking at, like, Top Cut representation, because, like, Robbie Despia is such a good deck. It's, you look at everything else that's going on here, it barely, and I mean it barely, passed in to the Top Cut, so a lot you got to consider. All right, let's pass on over to deck list. All right, winning our event was Super Heavy Samurai, yes, with Red Eyes Dark Dragoon in the side deck. This is actually kind of cool. I mean, you know what? Not always will Exterio be a good choice. So why not, you know, bring out the ultimate monster of fun negate ha-has. It's kind of a cute little tech innovation. I see that we have Magical Hound, seeing some play there. Oh boy, yeah, we've really have reached, like, the level of cool innovations. Good old Spell Canceller. And then, of course, we're just playing the one Regulus in here. I mean, it's a free special summon extension. A majority of the deck is just going to rely on, you know, setting through Cyberstorm, essentially setting up, you have answers in here through the Kaiju. And then, of course, I mean, the whole rest of your deck is just kind of hand trap turbo. You can think, like, the Link 1 power of Scarecrow down here, giving this deck the chance to, you know, be the monster that it is right now. So, extremely happy to see that, you know, Wakashi and Friends really has become the monster. Next up here we have Manadium with, yes, there's the Scarecrow package. We are playing 1 Prisma in here with double Hero Lives, so you'll be able to expedite the process through Prisma and then start, you know, the reverse engineer combo. Of course, Prime Heart is definitely a pretty good card. I see that we are playing the Manadium Breakheart in here. It's kind of an interesting little piece. All real things considered for, you know, what Manadium is doing. You have a lot of cool things that you can kind of bring together for this deck. But, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, overall, the deck is a very solid contender right now. I really do think, because a Hero Lives allows you to, you know, make Vicious Astrad here and essentially, you know, make life easier for the deck. That's literally, I mean, really good. Also, you know, having 2 more thrusts to toggle into the evenly matched when your opponent is quite possibly about to win the game. Okay, next up here, there's the reframing. This is what I'm more used to seeing. Oh, we've come this far down the rabbit hole. I see we're playing some Cyber Dragons to counteract the opponent. We're playing 1 Prisma with triple Hero Lives. This is like the more standard build where you try to pressure more for this. We are only playing the 1 Reinhardt in here. That's it. Like, this build is extending more out along the combo lines for this versus some of the other stuff. But this is really proving to us that Manadium actually had a pretty decent successful run out of this event for this deck to, you know, step through and double smash. I mean, no purely whatsoever in Top Cut, I think, is pretty interesting in and itself. Outside of that, I mean, some of these synchro options are kind of interesting in here. A lot of cool things that you can kind of bring to the table, I feel like, for like the best results. So interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what else will come here. All right, here's our Teller Knight list. We're playing a Renault. Okay, well, that's kind of cute. We are playing triple copies of the Saki Thomas, so this is where, you know, the deck starts to get really, really good. Because you get access to this, it gives you the additional, hey, look, I got a level 4 on the field now. Now it turns any of your other level 4s in combination into, you know, this card, and now you can kind of get off to the races for what you want to do. This is why the build's playing the Sheridan, because it allows you to, you know, search for any Constellar card, so you can kind of start setting on up here. Thank you, Constellar Teller Knights, being a, you know, searchable card for you to go ahead and rank up. Teller Knights, as, you know, a pretty strong anti-meta pick, is pretty good. I also like this. This is a cute little tech choice that I guess we're trying out in here overall, but okay. I mean, Teller Knights, they do have some issues overall for the format, but this was a pretty interesting choice overall for the meta. Next up is Labyrinth. How many Chaos Angel? Just one. Really? So this build only opted for one Chaos Angel, which is kind of interesting. I've seen a lot more of these builds that want to try to pressure the opponent a little bit more with more Chaos Angels. Now, do keep in mind, this build is playing, there's no Pot of Prosperities in here. There's none of that, you know, extra filtering options. They do have Gammas and Nibiru's in here. They've gone for more of the Hand Trap Express line here, where they want to rely on, you know, these particular cards to kind of clean up the game. Droll and Lockbird becomes more of a monster this format, especially since, you know, you see this card. You can probably end your opponent's turn and give you the chance to set things up. Still playing the one Eradicator to try to close out games as you really can, but looking at this, this is kind of what we're stuck with right now in terms of current format. This deck is so evolved. Next up here, we have, oh, okay. We're playing one Fallen of Albaz in our Striker Dragon deck. Interesting. I mean, technically, it does give you a fusion option to access Mirror Jade and this. Kind of interesting. Okay. I mean, the biggest thing you got to remember with Dragon Link is Lubellion and, like, the Bysteals are still going to be your better options. As long as your Bysteals will be able to set up about 95% of the time, you should be able to kind of start to control the game and be able to set up. I haven't really seen a lot of people consider, you know, teching things like this into the build. It does kind of open up the door for some interesting options, and shout out to Anti-Spell Fragrance down here. You know, we've already seen this in 2 lists, and the fact that, you know, this format is such a major shift from what we've seen previously in terms of, like, metagame presence. Ugh. Next up here is our Speedroid deck. So what makes this list very, very cool is Small World. Any card in the deck effectively bridges into Terror Top. And that's the little review that I got from the duelists. I was talking to them. They were like, yeah, the reason why, like, you know, we're playing Small World right now is because literally it is Terror Top. Terror Top is the heart and soul of this deck, according to them. And, I mean, I will say that, personally, I think that this deck has a very high skill ceiling. You have to make a lot of very good calls in order to get this off of the ground. But typically, when you do see those lines of play kind of start to come together, these big synchro monsters, Crystal Wing is not something to really mess around with. This card will win games in and itself, being present on the field, because your opponent literally can't out it. It's very, very strong. Also, I mean, you have the very good defensive options in here. You have the hand traps to kind of handle out the rest of the metagame. It looks very, very strong. And our last list here is Despia. I see that we are main decking Double Quem. We are playing a Performa Pow 5 Rainbow Magician. It's kind of interesting. The deck kind of was forced to actually have this. Okay. I see that we also have Gimmick Puppet Nightmare in here as well. So we're actually just being forced to make this off of the big guy. Hey, no expulsion needed. All right, we go ahead and we get free access to this as it is. So that's kind of cool at the end of the day, but I do like the fact that we can actually have access to this. So very interesting list. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.